Okay, welcome back to this channel. In this video I will show you, well no, I won't go over all the steps, but I will show you how to remove the rear wheel of your Zero SRF or Zero SRS. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe and leave some comment if you have questions. I won't go over all the steps because I found a great video already online that exists in English that explains how to do it. I will link it below so you can always check that out if you want to go from A to B. In the end he moves his wheel, he puts it in the back of his car. I just wanted to complete it on his information because I saw some things that I would do differently, and that's really what this video is about. So just some general tips for removing the rear wheel. To start, he had an, I think he had a special wider paddock stand, if that's the name in English. I think he had a special wider one. You don't really need a really wide one. What I did, this is a very cheap generic one. And the only thing that you have to notice if you buy one, it's best to get one with this kind of replaceable brackets. So you can use this one with pins that go underneath the front fork. You can use it with those kind of forks that go over the spools. Those spools were not installed by the factory. You have to get them separately. I got these, I think it's an M8, but check to be sure. I got these on eBay for very cheap, but they are also bending, so it's not ideal. And then as you can see, I have like that amount left on this side, and on that side I have an equal amount left. So this stand is wide enough. Then the guy already mentioned in his video that there is this thing, this spacer, that you need to make sure that you don't lose it because it will probably fall out. It's on this side of the wheel. So that's the only thing that's really loose that you can forget about. So make sure to put it back in. Then he also had the stock, like this thing, he had the stock rear fender installed. Yeah. If you need to know information about what a wrench size to use and so on, he had all those things I think in his video, so make sure to watch his as well. So this is installed here normally, and by default the license plate that I have installed there lives there, and then it has a wire running over there, over the bridge that side, for the lighting of the license plate. There is also a plastic fender, a smaller one, that lives there on that corner. That's this thing, and that thing has 3 bolts. That one that lives there with a ground wire, then that one that lives there, and then underneath those ABS sensors, and that's the lug for that one. But that one you have to look for because it's behind those 2 wires. That's the hole for it, but it's behind those 2 wires normally. But he just put this thing aside and had it hanging over here. If you look in the, I removed the wire because I now have it, my license plate over there. But normally it's a wire. I think it's even an extension of this wire, and it has this this material, fabric-like material over it that you can open. And if you look in that wire that goes to the back, there is a connector, so you can just feel for it, and then at the right point open up this fabric-like material, and then you can disconnect that thing completely. Anyway, so that's a tip. That wire has a connector. That's one thing that I wanted to mention. Then if you put this thing back, well, you don't have to remove this small fender to remove the rear wheel. So, but if you do, make sure to put this ground lug back in place and make sure it's clean. I'll have to clean this up, for example. Then another thing I want to mention is if you remove the wheel from here, you'll notice that there is this sensor ring that drops out, so that you can just clean up and put back. But then he also kept this thing he also kept in place. And as you can see, there's a dowel there and also connects through the axle there, or the axle goes through it. You can, if you just remove the wires from those metal lugs there, you can easily remove this brake caliper and put it aside before you try to remove the wheel, because the wheel, there's not, somehow that was just a spacer dropping, so that's what I meant with make sure not to lose it. But somehow he managed to take out the wheel without removing that brake, but it lives in this space, so I'm not completely sure how it's done. I think it's quite difficult to remove it without removing this brake caliper. I'll just continue cleaning up my rear bike now, because I just wanted to install this, well, this is the old belt, it snapped, as you could see in one of my videos. I have a new one now, I found a new one, which I will be installing. To install a new belt, you don't have to remove the rear wheel. The only reason I'm removing it currently is because I wanted to clean it up. As you can see on the front of the bike, it's really, really dirty. So, but those are the things that I wanted to mention, so thanks for watching.